Hi viewers, in this video I am going to explain about the lubrication system maintenance. The previous videos I have explained about in detail about the lubrication system, how the lubrication system works in a diesel engine and which are all the main components the lubrication system is consisting of. And in this video, what precautions to be taken in the lubrication system I am going to explain. Friends, we have discussed in detail about the lubrication system circuit, and the various components involved in the lubrication system of an internal combustion engine in videos 15 and 16. This video will talk about the maintenance of the lubrication system. As the system is very critical and important for functioning of the engine, same way the maintenance of the adapted system is equally important for the efficient working and long life of the engine. For that matter, the maintenance of our body is also very important. Maintenance of our body means, for example, washing the body regularly, that is taking the bath regularly by using good quality soap, good quality shampoo, cutting the nails, combing the hair by applying the oil, washing our clothes, okay, taking the healthy food at specified intervals, walking or jogging, sleeping, all these things are to be done as per the natural recommendations on the human body. Any deviation, ignorance of these activities leads to deterioration of the health. Same way, the maintenance of the adapted system, whether it is a lubrication system, air system, cooling system, or fuel system, is equally important. What is the maintenance? So, as recommended by the manufacturer, that using of the recommended grade of the lubricants, recommended genuine filters, changing at the recommended intervals, and maintaining the logbook, and also testing the testing or inspecting the removed filters and the drained oil. These are some of the maintenance activities. When it comes to the usage recommended engine oil, the engine oil recommendation is decided by the vehicle manufacturer. What grade of oils have to be used? The recommendation depends on the many factors. For example, the clearances between the moving parts, that is the bearings, crank journals, connecting rods, guides, valves, gears, etc. And also the ambient working temperature, the engine working in India or the engine working in South Pole or North Pole, whatever may be ambient temperature, and also the size of the engine and application of the engine based on so many factors, and also the weight to the horsepower ratio. So many factors are involved in the recommendation of the grade of the oil. Development in the lubricants recommendation lubricants uses in the past time, that is olden days, vehicles were running with monograde oils, that is the single grade 40 oil, 30 oil, like that. The 40 SAE 40 represents the viscosity of the oil. So this is monograde oil. The viscosity recommendation again depends upon the ambient working temperature and also clearances, etc. But the problem with these monograde oils are they change their viscosity rapidly along with the variation in the temperature. For example, a vehicle is running at 40 degrees ambient temperature and the same vehicle will take at maybe 15 degrees centigrade or even 0 degrees centigrade. Somewhere the vehicles are to be used even minus degrees also. So the temperature variation leads to rapid change in the viscosity of oil. So the change of viscosity leads to so many problems. Suppose the oil becomes thicker as the temperature drops. So it cannot flow freely to all the engine parts, that is leading to starvation of the lubrication to the moving components. If the viscosity increases with the working temperature, and the retention time of the lubricating film between the moving parts will be very less. That is also another problem. So over a period of time, these monograde oils are replaced with the multigrade oils. The multigrade oils are manufactured by blending low viscosity oil with special additives called viscosity index improver. It's a kind of polymer which improve the temperature or viscosity characteristics of the oil. So this is the multigrade oil. Multigrade also have the advantages in fuel consumption of about 2 to 2.5%. And further, the latest development is the synthetic oils. The synthetic motor oils are the premium products that offer many benefits over the mineral oils. Both the monograde oil and the multigrade oil are categorized as the mineral oil. This synthetic oil is the latest development. Even though the synthetic oils are expensive, they last longer and give better engine protection. The low pour point makes them ideal for starting engine in cold weathers, and high temperature stability gives increased engine protection to hard working cars and trucks. Just go through these graphs of these three types of oils. This is the monograde oil, center one. This end is the multigrade oil. This is the synthetic oil. Let us look about these three pictures. We can find the advantages and difference of this multigrade oil and the synthetic oil over the monograde oil. First, see what is the multigrade oil. The first two digits represents the weight that oil emulates in cold temperature, stands for winter, W, 30 oil weight under normal operating conditions is the specific gravity actually. A 10W30 is an SI30 oil, okay, weight oil that acts like a 10 weight oil in the winter. Means if it is a monograde oil, the 30 monograde oil becomes thicker in the winter, whereas the multigrade oil acts as a free flowing oil that is 10 weight, in the sense you can say as the low viscous oil. Another difference between the multigrade and monograde, for example, this axis, y axis is the viscosity and x axis is the temperature. An oil of 40 grade monograde oil, its viscosity is 40 at 100 degrees Celsius. When the temperature is increased, it is rapidly dropping. If the engine temperature reaches 150, it is dropping up to here. Further, it is increased. It is at 290. It has come to somewhere around 5 to 6 viscosity. Means the oil has become very thin. Same time, when the vehicle is taken to the cold working conditions like 20 or 15 or 10, it has become much thicker by increasing its viscosity. That variation between the change in the viscosity is very huge from here to here. When it comes to multigrade oil, the change of the viscosity is not like monograde oil. You see, this is the 40 at 40 degrees. This is the 40, viscosity is the 40 centistokes at 100 degrees. Whereas, as the engine temperature is increasing during operation, its viscosity has not dropped like monograde oil. There is a slight drop, but is not as much as in case of the monograde oil. So this is one thing. Same way, when the vehicle has taken to the cold working temperature, it is not increased much. See how This viscosity is changing over the change in temperature, how the monograde viscosity is changed. This is the main difference between the monograde and multigrade. When it comes to the synthetic oil, this you can see mineral oil molecules how they looks, small one, bigger ones with uneven spreading. Okay, in case of synthetic, you can see these are the synthetic base oils. These molecules are very even, very uniform. This is how the synthetic oil internal structure, additive structure looks like this. So the best and latest one, even though it is expensive, is the synthetic oil, which gives the longer life to the engine. Whereas then next comes to the multigrade oil. By using multigrade oil, there will be fuel economy of 2 to 2.5% in all the engines. Next, filters. This we have already seen how the filter oil goes. The oil comes from outside, enters into the holes. It goes from the outside of the filter, filters in the paper element, then passes through the center and goes to the engine. Here again, the quality and area of the filter paper used in the filter matters a lot for the quality of the lubrication flow. When you see some filters here, for example, this is the genuine product, how the internal structure looks when you inspect through microscope, and how this imitation filters looks like this. The way the oil passes through this mesh, here it cannot pass. This filter gets choked very early compared to this filter. So always use only genuine filter. The filters are made with special paper to filter all impurities, including the carbon deposits, dirt, worn out metal particles, that too at oil working temperatures. Filter of poor quality copper may collapse beyond certain temperature, may create restriction in oil flow, or may allow unfiltered oil in the system. All such situation leads to premature wear of the engine parts and even a catastrophic failure of the engine. So it is essential to use only manufacturer recommended genuine oil filter. Another important factor of the maintenance is the storage of the lubricants and the transfer of the lubricants. Storage may be in the barrels, in the cans, depending upon the volume of the requirement. You can see how beautifully they are stored. These are the barrels and these are the dispensing pumps. There is no any manual pumps involvement here, and these are the transfer cans of different sizes. They have provided different cans for the different grades of oil. You can see even the caps color also is different, because we should not use the same can for the different grades of oil. These are the dispensing pumps again here. See, another storage facilities like this. This is the bulk storage, and these are the dispensing taps, various taps for the various grades of oils. These are the cans. Same way, the cans are provided this side also. See the floor, and the dispensing storage always should be very neat and clean to avoid any kind of dust entry into the system. In case any dust attracts or attached to these lubricants or mixed with the lubricants, same will go to the engine and leads to the premature failure of the engine because of the premature wear and tear of the moving components. This is another storage, bulk storage system, so all the barrels and dispensing units. These are the transfer pumps. See how this filter storage in the carton boxes and in the polythene covers. The polythene covers are to be opened only at the time of fitment. Then coming to some other items like the drain plug to the oil sump. The drain plugs, when they are removed, before removal, the dust is to be thoroughly wiped, then it has to be removed. The gasket or rubber gasket to be changed during the fitment, and it is to be tightened with the recommended torque. Same way, the filling caps are to be thoroughly wiped. Before removal, clean the plug, take the plug, drain the oil, change the gasket and tighten with the specified torque. Then take out the cap by thoroughly cleaning top of the required quantity of the oil, and this is the dipstick to measure the oil level. The dipstick has to be removed and they ensure that no dust to be stick onto the dipstick. It is to be wiped once, then again the oil level to be measured and ensure the oil level is within the specified limit. Another important one is inspecting the removed filter and also testing the drained oil. A removed filter must be inspected by cleaning with the diesel. It has to be inspected thoroughly for the presence of any metal particles. See, this is how the filter paper has to be removed by separating the top and bottom and inspect the filter like this also. Okay. So this inspection helps us to identify any metal debris from the engine, so the preventive action can be taken to minimize the damage. Same way, oil sample has to be drawn. The sample has to be drawn as specified by the vehicle manufacturer, and it has to be tested in the shortest possible time for any metal debris like the engine metal particles like iron, chromium, aluminum, lead, etc., etc., and also the silica, that is the dust, and also the water content, the fuel content. This indicates any premature wear or any mixing of the water or the fuel in the system. So this oil testing helps in identifying the problem at early stage, also to prevent the engine from the major failure by taking necessary preventive measure. And another important activity is to maintain the vehicle logbook. That is the recording of each and every preventive maintenance or the scheduled maintenance. This is how the maintenance has to be done for the lubrication system in the engine. These 3 pages notes. In case you have any queries, you can always contact me.